Happy Monday. Got to rock the Suns hat coming off a big win. Pretty stoked for that. Cold Brew Gang, you know what's up. If you're in here, we're going to get started in our live stream of client by client in just under 2 minutes. If you've had your cold brew coffee, you know what to do. Throw some flames wherever you're watching. And if you're new or first time catching us live, be sure to drop whatever platform you're catching this live stream in. That way I can shout you out here on the show. Couple things for how this works is every single day, Monday through Friday, I go live and I produce my podcast client by client with you here in the live audience or watching the replay. And then about a week or two later, these episodes actually hit live in Apple Podcast and in Spotify. So if you're behind any of these or you really like the topic and you want to get the polished, shined up episode, you want to see the rest of them, you want to tune in on the podcast while you're getting your steps in, while you're getting your workout in or whatever, you can just go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, Audible, even Audible. And you can subscribe to the show and follow along if, of course, you're getting value and if you're loving it. So in less than a minute, we're going to get this started. And I'd love to give you guys shout outs, whether you're here live or watching the replay. Shout out to Carlos Reyes for his recent replay comment. Shout out to Halita for her recent watching the replay and even being here live. Super appreciate you guys. I would do this without you live. When you're live, it raises the stakes a little bit. It makes me perform and show up a little more. Anyone who's done anything like this knows how it can be with actual people, which is my long-term vision for this show. We're going to start out small. You got to crawl before you walk, but that's all good. I'm enjoying the process and absolutely loving it. And I hope that you're loving this and getting value too. Today's episode is episode 25, and we're going to be talking about signs your offer needs to be overhauled. So if you are not confident in your offer, not sure of your offer, or maybe you need a little bit of a refresher and reminder, today's episode is for you. That said, let's turn off our watermarks and our overlays, and let's hop in and get this started. Hey, what's going on? Jeremy here from whatupjeremy.com, back with another episode of Client by Client. In the last episode, I shared with you, once you have that first big month, you hit your first 5, 10, 15K, now what? What do you do? What do you do with that money? What's the next best place to put it? Is there a next best place to put it, or should you do nothing? I answer all of those things, and I put some things on your radar that you might not consider. I've worked with hundreds of coaches since 2011, 2012, and I see a constant pattern when you finally achieve that success. So if you want to know what I've learned from advising my students, from hitting these milestones in my business, backtrack to episode 24, and you can check that out and understand exactly what to do when you have that first big month to set you up for success, to hopefully hit that 2, 3, 4 months consistently in a row and keep you moving upwards and onwards. In today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 signs that your offer needs to be overhauled. 1 or 2 of these signs might be happening in your business right now. One of them might be on the horizon. I want to make sure that you're aware of all of those and that you know exactly what to do and where to go to actually overhaul your offer. First, let's talk about what happens if you don't get today's episode right. The first thing that happens is that you keep making new offers and coaching programs, and this confuses your market and you. So a lot of coaches will get inspired by an email they get from another coach, a sales page, a product launch going on in the space, and they think that I got to add all of these things and do all these things that coach A, B, or C is doing in order for my offer to be as juicy as theirs, in order to get the sales, in order to get the prestige that they have. And what ends up happening is that you don't ever get to experience the longevity of having an offer that your market is aware about. And there is an episode that goes directly hand in hand with this that's worth mentioning at the beginning of the show, which is episode 14, that you only need one offer. And so I want for you to backtrack to episode 14 if this is resonating with you here today. But what ends up happening is that you start your little Kajabi, your Facebook group, you get your program, you get a client or two, and then you go and launch a new offer because you think that one's now stale. You think that your group or your email list or your social media followers have been offered out. They already know it. They don't want it. It's not what they want. And so you keep making new ones. And this leads to you confusing your market. This leads to you not being able to become known for one thing and having a program people want to join when they're ready. And then you wind up also confused on sales calls. And that confusion happens because if you have a high ticket offer, which is where a lot of you guys start out, and it's where I recommend you start and you stay, when the first sign that someone can't afford it, you go to work making a low ticket offer. And then what you end up finding is that people still can't afford that low ticket. So you make your micro offers. And then you have all of these things, none of which are selling more than the other if you're even lucky. And what ends up happening is that on sales calls, you start to lose confidence a degree by degree, call by call, and you very quickly find yourself positioning your most affordable, aka your cheapest offers, to the person on the other end before you even talk about your high ticket, because you go and starting to assume that people can't afford it. And when you do that, you leave a lot of money on the table, because there is a percentage of people that can afford it. And when you don't make them the offer, your one main high ticket offer, you have the potential to be losing and leaving thousands on the table. They join your micro offer, or worse, they go to someone else who has the right thing for them, they're less confused about, and that salesperson, that coach on the other end, believes in their heart of hearts and can look them square in the eye across Zoom, in person, or on the sales call, ear to ear, and they know in their heart of hearts that this offer is right for them, because they've done the hard work of making their one core high ticket offer, and they've stayed there. They've been adding new clients into it, and now they believe it, and so that client's going to go and join theirs. So the first thing that happens, you make coaching program after coaching program, course after course, offer after offer. You end up being confused, and so does your market. The second thing that happens is one of two. You either have your sales stay low and stagnant, or they're super slow. And so maybe you get a client or two every month, but it's never enough to hit that 5 or 10K mark. And that leads you back to problem number one, in thinking that it's something to do with your offer or your lead generation strategy. So now you're looking at ads, you're looking at joint ventures. You see me doing a podcast, so you think you got to go and start a podcast. Whatever other coach you're following, they're doing webinars and workshops, so now you have to do that. And then no one thing can end up working. Your sales continue to stay low and pushed out into the future, and revenue stays low as well. So those are the two things that happens. Now let's talk about a couple of the signs, 3 signs that your offer needs to be revamped and does need a little work. Again, my belief, my philosophy, and what I teach is one offer to $1 million cash collected, and then one offer to hit $1 million in a 12-month period. And so many coaches never experience those milestones because they're constantly scattered and doing different things on different platforms, targeting different avatars with different offers. And so a lot of what we're going to be talking about today comes down to episode 14, which is about why you only need one offer. So the first sign that your offer needs to be revamped is that you are always making new offers and new programs. So let's say you're using a Kajabi, you go in there and you have 4 or 5 different, I'm gonna let my phone stop ringing because I saw the actual screen vibrating here. Okay, I think that call went away. I use my iPhone 13 Pro Max with continuity for this camera that we're talking into right now. So I was getting an incoming call, none of which I answer, even if you're in my phone book, but I thought I'd stop for at least for this recording. So the first sign that your offer does need to be revamped is that you're always making new offers and new coaching programs. And so one of the biggest signs that this is the case is that you don't have an offer that you really believe in, and you don't have one that you're continuously adding clients in, that your clients are telling their friends about, and that's doing some marketing in and of its own accord. And if you go into your Kajabi, or you log into your Facebook, you look at your groups, or you look at the membership sites and courses you've created in your Kajabi, you have a bunch of them. And if you have just one, then I'm here to give you a high five. And these are all just reminders for you listening to this, so that you can avoid these shiny objects when you're presented with them, and you can stay focused on what's actually working right now. And so if you log into your Teachable or your Kajabi or wherever you're hosting your coaching program, and you have a couple in there, that's your sign. And the first thing I want for you to do is to turn all of them off besides your one core offer. And my goal is that by the end of this, and with you following this show client by client, that you wind up saying, okay, yeah, I have all these programs, I have all these courses, I have this thing I launch in January, I have this thing I do in June, and they're different things, so you have different groups and different marketing messages. This is creating confusion. You will not become known and have this effect for that one thing over any period of time. And while there might be a time and place down the road when you have the authority, the audience, and the revenue to prove it, and the team, when you're just getting going and you have a small team, or it's just you, or revenue is below 15K a month, those are the absolute wrong times to be thinking about new offers. So if you are constantly going from offer to offer and putting together package to package, and then like the other thing that happens is that you have all of these other courses that might have some clients in them, and now they're getting no more love. And trust me, while they may not tell you with their words, they'll tell you with their actions that they don't feel valued, because they won't buy from you again, because they know that they're going to buy something kind of get abandoned and not have the sort of attention they think they might have gotten in the coaching program or the product they invested from you. They see you launching new things to the email list that they're subscribed to, or the group that they found you through, or however they found you, wherever they're following you, and they start to feel like, dang, I got this thing last. I probably got this thing at the end of its life, meaning it's not going to be refreshed. They're already feeling abandoned. They already feel like they have gotten their money taken from you, which is one of the worst things to experience if you've ever experienced that as a consumer. Whether it's $1 or $100,000, it basically feels the same. Something's gotten taken from you, and you didn't do anything to have that taken from you. So if you're always making new offers and launching new programs, this is your first sign that your one main offer needs some love and needs to be overhauled. We got to get you focused in on that one offer that you can look people dead in the eye and believe in your heart of hearts that this is the right thing, because you have clients getting results, sharing the results, new clients signing up every week for it. So why would you add anyone to anything else? And if you don't have something where clients are constantly posting results every day and new clients are signing up every week, this is also one of those signs. The second sign that your offer needs to be overhauled is you thinking that your offer is just the price. I'm going to say that again. The second sign that your offer needs to be overhauled is that you think that the offer is just about the price. And so you're either adjusting your payment plans or you're lowering the price because you're getting a couple folks who say they can't afford it, when affordability is your responsibility, not your prospects. You should not be on the phone on a sales call with someone who can't afford your high-ticket coaching. And you need to understand and learn the frameworks, scripts, and conversation strategies and tactics to avoid having those folks book calls with you. You need some filters in place to keep those people from getting on a call with you that's supposed to be about sales, where you get to the end, you reveal the price, and they're going to be heartbroken because they can't afford it. And affordability is your responsibility as the online coach and as a salesperson in your business, or as a part of the sales system in your business. Your offer is so much more than price. A couple other things that your offer is and things that need to be overhauled inside of it. And if you want more help on this, I highly recommend you get into the Leverage Coach group on Facebook, because I have a couple trainings in here that are all about your offer. And these ones are not the most popular. The lead gen and convo starting videos and trainings are always the most popular. But in reality, when your offer is solid, everything else is going to work better. I don't care how many leads you throw at this or how many ads and paid traffic you throw at this. If your offer stinks, it's not going to bring you new clients every single week. You're going to end up getting clients who refund, who think that you lied to them in some way. And this is going to cause your confidence to go down, while simultaneously your bank account does too. Your offer is so much more than price. A couple things that need to be revamped inside of your offer. Your guarantee. What is your guarantee? In fact, just modifying your guarantee is a great reason to go to your audience, to your email list, your group, your social media, and to share your updated guarantee and to make that as kind of like the linchpin of a new offer. Meanwhile, it's the same coaching program that you've been selling. Your guarantee needs some help. What about risk? Risk is in every offer. There's risk for you as the coach, and there's risk for the prospect. How are you reversing that risk? How are you highlighting that risk so that you can identify that and just say what they're thinking out the gate? And then how are you reversing that to take all the risk away from them and put all the risk on you? Getting new coaching clients is more about not having reasons for them to say no than it is getting them to say yes. And when there's no risk, it's one of those things that's like, well, why would I say no if there's absolutely no risk? And so I don't have all day to talk about how you remove risk and how you risk reverse, but you need to start looking at and thinking about the psychology of your prospects, and you need to be putting all of the risk on you and making that abundantly clear so they feel like there's absolutely no risk to work with you, and so there is no risk to work with you. We talked about guarantee. We talked about price. Here's another one that you're going to be like, I maybe do realize that this is part of bonuses, but maybe you don't. This one, for some of you, is going to be a little bit of a reminder and an affirmation that you're on the right path. And a few of you guys are going to be like, oh, duh, why didn't I think of that? And that next piece is your bonuses. What reasons do they have to join is part of the whole conversation going on in their mind. So maybe you put some bonuses in place, and maybe you don't market all of them and share all of them with your audience. And maybe you only share a few of them while they're on a call with you. This gives you the freedom to be swapping out and testing new bonuses to see how they work, to be adjusting your positioning of these bonuses. And if they are expiring bonuses. If they are expiring bonuses, that leads us into the next category that you need to revamp in there, which is urgency. Too many of you guys have no urgency at all for someone to make the decision while they're on the call with you. And a lot of you don't understand that urgency, a lot of you guys think that urgency is some slimy tactic. But in my belief, and I learned this from Joe Polish, it's your ethical duty for someone with a solution to make it abundantly clear to your audience with the problem that you have the right thing for them. It's your ethical duty as an online marketer here in 2023. It's your ethical duty as an online coach. And so when you create urgency, it's going to get people to actually take their ass off the couch and take an action. If there is no urgency, they have to whenever, well, maybe I'll just wait till later. And there's always this perception that you're going to be there, you're evergreen. Okay, cool. Well, let me just come back when I'm ready. Let me talk with the wife. Let me talk with the husband. Let me do X, Y, or Z. Let me wait for forever like I've already been and not take action. So what you need to understand and embrace is that urgency is manufactured. In every situation in an online business, besides very, very few exceptions, urgency is manufactured. Maybe the urgency is that, hey, the price is this much today, or the payment plan is this much, but that goes away at the end of the week. Maybe it's, hey, the price is the price and the bonuses are the bonuses, but if you do join before we hop off this call and you do believe that this is the right program, that I'm the right coach for you, well, then you get this thing. And so I don't like to bring that up at the end. I do like to lead with that so that there is no surprises. And so that my prospects on the other end, my leads on the other end of that, can best prepare and best be in a decision-making mode. Too many of you are not getting your prospects to be in a decision-making mode. You're allowing them to be in information gathering mode. And in information gathering mode, no one wins, because you don't get the client and they still have the problem that you're here to solve, that you have the solution for. So we talked about risk, we talked about guarantee, we talked about urgency, we've talked about bonuses. The last thing is the price. And price, for a lot of you, you're going to have the inclination to want to move downwards, when in reality, it's about getting the price right and then having a payment plan that can help the people who don't want to tie up maybe all of their cash or resources in an upfront payment. But you should also build in bonuses and urgency, risk reversal, and guarantees into what the price is, so they're more likely to take it. So a couple things that you can do is like, yeah, you know what? If you do decide here on the call, the price is only $10,000, whereas if you need a little bit of time, that's totally cool, but the price goes to $11K or $12K. Or maybe it's a payment plan. Is it, hey, I totally have payment plans. Normally it's $1,000 a month for 6 months. But if you join right now, it's just $500 down and it's $750 a month for X, Y, and Z. Or it's weekly payments, or it's monthly, or it's biweekly. There's so many things that you can toy with and play with that don't lower your price and give your prospects more reasons to make the decisions, or the ability to actually make the decision while they're on you. Because someone might not be able to afford $10K in that moment, but maybe they can afford $750 down or $2,500 down and smaller payments of like $500, as an example. So those 5 things are what make an offer strong, and when they're dialed in, and when you focus for a year on dialing these 5 things in with your one offer to get it right for your one coaching program, that's when the game changes. The third sign that your offer needs to be overhauled is if your sales calls, your close rate is lower than 50%. I think that with a decent offer and a decent sales conversation, that your close rate should be 60% or more. When you have my frameworks and tactics and the way I teach doing a 2-call close, the way I teach leading the conversation and giving the power to your prospects through the conversation and actually letting them lead, your close rate should be closer to 80 or 90%. But if you're navigating this on your own so far, and you're tracking this, because you should be tracking every single call that gets booked, so you know your show rate, so you know your close rate, so you know what made them actually buy or not buy while they were on the phone with you. And if your close rate is lower than 50%, you're probably missing out on more than just one of these 5 pieces we just covered of your offer. Oftentimes, it's that urgency piece. Is your urgency either sucks and it's not working, or there's no urgency so they can make the decision whenever, wherever. So if your close rate's lower than 50%, you haven't landed quite yet on, while your program might be the right coaching program, you might have not yet landed on the right offer to get folks to join you in your coaching program with that, okay? While the coaching program and the offer are very tied in, They can be two separate things. For instance, I run a program called the Get Clients program exclusively for online coaches. And what its goal is to help you get leads every single day and clients every week. That's when you're an existing coach. When you're a new coach, it's just about getting your first 3 to 5 clients, your first 15K in 30, 60, or 90 days. But it's the same program and it's the same framework. But I run different offers and promotions throughout the year to get people to want to take action and join me. Because not every single one of you is going to hop in a DM with me and join my program. And not every one of you who opts in and gets GetBookedCRM or joins my Facebook group or joins my email list another way is going to take me up on any individual offer that I make you or that my system and my processes make you. However, when I do switch up the promo, you might now have the reason when I switch up the offer and I change one small thing about it, that could be the exact reason why you actually respond, reach out, and take me up on it. And now you're getting results in my coaching program. And that can be transplanted into your business. I have one coaching program. And the way I look at it is like I'm holding a jar right now. If you can imagine, the jar has a label on it. And it's the same jar you're getting, but if you don't want that jar, a couple months later, I'm going to change the label on that and say, here's the new label. So it might be called the Get Clients program. It might be called the Pilot program. It might be called the Case Study program. It might be called the Implementation program. It might be called the Launchpad program. And things do change in my program in the onboarding for each of those things, but the offer changes with that. The coaching program stays the exact same. The coaching program is the coaching program is the coaching program, and I just make different modified offers along the way to basically attempt to reach the different mindsets in the market and on my email list so that they're most likely to consider me for the problems that they have of not getting clients or not having enough clients, and helping them to simplify their business and actually take me up on my offers to get in so I can help them get those results. So the three signs your offer needs to be overhauled. Number one is that you're always making new offers and launching new coaching programs and launching new courses and membership sites. Second is that you're thinking that your offer is just about price and you're starting to lower the price with every sales call or make new offers to reach those lower price points. And that's an easy way to underprice yourself, to undermine yourself. And you're going to be hitting 3 to 5 clients a month, but you're only going to be walking away with $3,500. Whereas 3 to 5 clients should bring you in between 10 and 15K. Third is that your close rate's lower than 50%. I think that with a not so good sales process and an even not so solid offer, your close rate should be about 60 to 70%. With my help, we usually get you closer to 80 to 90, but if your close rate is lower than 50%, these are big signs that your offer needs to be overhauled. It needs a little love, and you got to do a better job of getting in your market's mindset, giving them what they want, and thinking through the 5 things we covered today here to make your offer strong. In the next episode of Client by Client, I'm going to be sharing with you how to become the coach they copy. I want for you to be the person that when you do something in your business, you start to see everyone else do it. And it becomes a trend and the common thing. And you know in your heart of hearts that you started it. And when you do this, you become the role model, you become the leader and the influencer of influencers. And then when prospects find you, you will be credited and they will finally feel like they found the source like everyone else was copying. And so I want to share with you how to become the coach that everyone else copies in your space. Really, copying is the most sincere form of flattery. And I want for you to feel flattered all day long. And I want for you to become the coach they copy. So be sure to tune into tomorrow's episode 26 to listen into that. Whenever you are ready, here are a few ways I can help you grow your online business. First, download your free copy of GetBookedCRM. Coaches, if you want to get leads and turn them into clients in half the time, I have just a solution for you. And right now, in May of 2023, it's 100% free. All you have to do is drop me the letters CRM wherever you're watching this, or over on Instagram at WhatUpJeremy, and I'll send you a link where you can download your copy so that you can manage your pipeline, get more leads, and turn them into sales in half the time. Second, join my free group for online coaches. I've got almost 1,000 online coaches from all over the world who are implementing my strategies, my frameworks, and all speak in the same language. Some of them might be one small step ahead of you. Others might be a couple steps or the same step or one small baby step behind you. Whatever the case, you're going to be around just more people who are moving and shaking in the direction that you're wanting. You'll get access to me, access to them, and access to my most helpful, my most popular, and my most exclusive resources 100% for free. All you got to do is drop the word group or search Leverage Coach on Facebook or send me that over on Instagram. Lastly, become my next success story. I'm getting a couple coaches together this month to implement my tactics to inject 15K in new clients and revenue in your online business ASAP or over these next 30, 60, 90 days, depending where you're at in your online business. But finding the right people is extremely important to me. So this is only for you if you are a relationship focused coach who always puts the person ahead of the money. You've been coaching for at least 1 year. This is the one I'm the most flexible on, but this is not for you if you're just brand new and don't have any of these things dialed in yet. You would like to get 3 to 5 clients organically from Facebook or Instagram without wasting money on paid ads. You have at least 300 friends on Facebook or Instagram or an email list or a group. You're willing to take bold action because you know that your success is dependent upon it. And last but most importantly, you can keep a secret. If that's you, I want you to find me on Instagram, instagram.com/whatupjeremy. And I want for you to message me the words case study. And what I'll do is I'll share with you what we have coming up this month. We'll figure out if it's for you. And I'll share with you what we're doing with other coaching clients in the Get Clients program and which one of these frameworks or tactics has the highest chance or probability of making the most impact in your online business soonest. All you have to do is find me on Instagram @whatupjeremy and message me the words case study. Guys, that's it for today's episode. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys back tomorrow with another episode of Client by Client. Okay. Thank you for the reactions and the likes. I appreciate you guys. The thumbs up, big time. Tomorrow, we're going to be covering something that I think is pretty important for a lot of you guys, and that you don't want to be copying others, but you see all the other coaches, and maybe you've been guilty of copying or modeling someone that you really look up to in the past, just as I have, just as I do, because success leaves clues, right? Well, I want for others to be copying you and following your lead, but there's a thought process, a mindset, and a heart set, all that go along with this. And I want to share with you my philosophies. So come back tomorrow and be sure to tune in for that. Subscribe to Client by Client over in Apple Podcasts or in Spotify. Be sure to grab that, and I'll see you guys back tomorrow with another episode. Cheers.